I'm Annette Kirklin, and I'm here at AUSA 2023. I am thrilled to welcome two very special guests with me this morning. I have the 55th Chief of Engineers and Commanding General of the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers, General Spellmon. Good morning.
Good morning, Annette. It's great to be with you.
Great to be here. I also have with me the Director of R&D for the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers and the Director of the Engineer Research and Development Center. Good morning, Dr. Pittman.
Good morning, Annette. It's good to be here.
I am so thrilled, and we're going to talk about some amazing things. So I know you had some opening things you would like to say this morning.
I do. First of all, to you and Dr. Pittman, thanks for putting this together for us. I don't know that we've done anything like this before at AUSA. Dr. Pittman hasn't heard these numbers yet. We are really coming off a historic year for the Army Corps of Engineers. We did $40.7 billion worth of work last year.
Wow.
And that's the second highest in our 248-year history. And then we had the number one year in small business, about 10.7. That sounds great, but Dr. Pittman knows this. For USACE to be all it can be,
yes,
we need more R&D.
Yes, we do.
And so we
that
have...
That kind of rhymes a little bit.
It does. And we're on this path, and we've been working hard with Congress, with the administration, to increase the amount of resources that we're putting into research and development, and it's already paying dividends for us. And I look forward to talking about some of those good ideas this morning.
Fantastic, fantastic.
Yeah, and so we support R&D, as the Chief knows, across all the missions of the Corps. Civil Works, we're really trying to pump that up a lot. Our biggest mission is warfighter support. So here at AUSA, we're going to look for partnerships across the spectrum. We do a lot of work in military programs, supporting Honorable Jacobson with installation, energy, and environment. And then we do a lot of research across pretty much every private sector and homeland sector. So Department of Homeland Security and others in the United States, plus international partners. So it's great to talk about R&D and innovation, Chief.
It's always great to talk R&D.
Yes, it is.
So as you said, we're going to talk about engineering solutions that USACE provides for our nation and for the warfighter to solve those toughest challenges. So as we dive into this, we're going to discuss the innovation strategies on the battlefield. Can we discuss that today?
Absolutely, yes, yeah.
Okay.
So I'll give you one example. One is hybrid energy on the battlefield. So energy demands are going up in the United States and on the battlefield. So we're working with our Construction Engineering Research Lab up in Champaign, Illinois, on new hybrid engineering solutions. So they'll take fuel-based systems plus battery-based systems, put those together and deliver energy for a lot less fuel, and that's what we need on the battlefield these days.
And I would just add, just coming up to 30,000 feet of it, I don't think there's an Army modernization priority that ERDC isn't involved in. So whether it's extended long-range fires or precision fires, future vertical lift, the next generation of helicopters.
Air missile defense,
all
network.
of it. Dr. Pittman, your team is involved in that, whether it's supercomputing, everywhere.
Exactly, all six of them, and including the newest CFT, sir, contested logistics.
That's right.
It's all about engineering, getting on the battlefield. So we got to get that fuel, we got to get that water, we got to get that material to our soldiers, because the enemy knows that's a weak link, and that's what engineers come in strong. So we're developing solutions for that today and for the future.
So I'll just add, we recently had our new Chief of Staff of the Army, General George, and our new Sergeant Major of the Army, Sergeant Major Weimer, at the headquarters for their initial in-brief. And General George is not as familiar with us, and so it was actually a very good time for him to learn a little bit about the Army Corps of Engineers. And I think one of his greatest takeaways, Dr. Pittman, was what I just mentioned, all of the work that you're involved in and your team's involved in helping the Army get after some of its stickiest innovation challenges.
That's right, exactly, yeah. So I told him ERDC is Disney World for engineers and scientists.
Right. Yeah.
But the
I love
biggest
that
difference,
quote. I love that quote.
But the biggest difference in Disney World and ERDC is that ERDC, the magic is real. We're actually making a difference for the warfighter, whether it's readiness, whether it's on the battlefield itself, whether it's at our installations in training, across the spectrum.
And General George is looking forward to his first visit down at ERDC as soon as we get it on his calendar.
Yes, sir.
That sounds great. Well, so you did mention readiness. So as everyone could see, the word is innovation today. That's obvious, right? So how does the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers contribute to enhancing readiness through innovation?
So what we know is blast and weapons effects on structures. And when you know that, we're like the world's best. We deliver something called modular protective systems. It was a very rapidly deployed system we put around our base camps and other important structures in the battlefield in Iraq and Afghanistan. They're protected from rockets, mortars, indirect fire, saved a lot of lives in the battlefield.
Some real-time challenges.
Yes. Right, is that part of VTOM?
No.
Okay, can you tell us about VTOM?
VTOM is one of our most famous things now. So everybody's talking about AI, ML, artificial intelligence, machine learning. We're bringing that to the battle space like nobody else is, particularly to our installations. So our installations are full of data, our maintenance data, our running data. When you run a building, the lights, the traffic stops, the child development centers, our installations are full of data. We want to bring that together and leverage the power of AI and ML to provide a common operating picture, a smart cop, for our installation commanders and those who must use that installation to achieve what they're trying to do, which is force projection platforms for our military going forward. So we're going to make them smarter, faster, cheaper, better, and safer than ever before.
That's right. And the Secretary of the Army just talked about this in her opening comments. They are working with Congress and the administration. They're trying to make a generational investment in barracks.
Right.
We're spending $1 billion of barracks and want to make sure they're the right investment at the right time and at the right place. And they can't do that without some of the analytical work that you've done.
Exactly.
Dr.
Yes.
Pittman.
Yeah. Facility investment analytics, again, using that data analytics, not just for today's investments, but the future investments that we have over the next decades. Where do we need to put, because we don't have enough money, how do we best invest that for the future of our military?
That's right.
Well, and as you both have hit on collaboration, how important is collaboration?
Yes.
And that's what this week is all about.
Right.
Just a chance for us to get out with our industry partners, see what the latest ideas are out there in industry, and then how do we apply those ideas for the challenges that we're facing in the Corps.
Yes.
Fantastic.
So we can't do anything without partners.
We don't do anything alone.
No, we don't. In industry and academia, I just got back from overseas, sir. I went to the UK, Belgium, and Germany. A lot of great allies over there. They want to leverage what we have, and they have a lot of capability that we don't have that they want to share with us. So again, we can't do it by ourselves. We can't do it alone. That's right.
Well, and another thing that everyone is always interested about is the innovation on the home front and how important that is. Can you talk about that?
You want me to start?
Yes,
Dr.
sir.
Pittman? So Dr. Pittman just shared some numbers with me here in the last couple of weeks. I always talk about this. There's a couple programs we ought to talk about today. But water supply and drought is a very pressing problem right now in our nation. And we have an R&D program called Forecast Informed Reservoir Operations, or FIRO. And we recently had some data come back to us from some of the record snowpack that we experienced in California this year. And at Lake Mendocino, where we have a FIRO program in place, we were able to save enough water in that reservoir for 20,000 homes in the third driest year on record. In California.
Wow.
And then when you add in the other 3 reservoirs, from Lake Isabella on down, it was enough water for 60,000 homes. And that's unheard of, and that's just all because of technology and ideas and how we're applying it.
And again, a partnership with NOAA.
Right.
We're not the weather forecasters, so NOAA is the experts on weather. So we're working with NOAA to manage where the water, the first drop hit, before the first drop ever hits the ground, we know where it's going and how to manage it more effectively.
That's right.
For water supply and for flood risk reduction. Those don't have to be mutually exclusive things. We're pulling that together in ways we've never done before.
And there's another one we should talk about. This one's just starting, and the example I use here is we had Hurricane Idalia come through the state of Florida just a few weeks ago.
Right.
And South Atlantic Division has 5 survey vessels that they have to cover 12 ports in the state of Florida with. And that takes time, because after a storm, you have to get our survey crews in there and work with the Coast Guard to reopen those ports. And that takes a little time. But one of the ideas that's been kicking around ERDC is, does it have to be a USACE survey vessel to get data?
That's right.
And so they developed a transponder. You put it on, you can put it on a private boat, you can put it on a shipping vessel, another commercial boat, and all it does is it taps into, when Dr. Pittman goes fishing, he has his little radar, it tells him how deep the water is and where he's located.
Exactly.
And it just takes all that data from a number of vessels and it feeds it back into a database. So we can see real time what the status is of that federal navigation channel, and we don't necessarily have to put a survey vessel on it right away.
We call it crowdsourcing bathymetry. That's the technical term. But really, it's like ways for dredging. So we can save a whole lot of money, a whole lot of time, just using technology that's already out there, but putting it together in a way that nobody's ever done it before saves us millions a year, will save us millions a year, and a lot of time.
So it's just like that navigation app, that map app that you have on your cell phone, where it's amber, you're starting to get into traffic, or red, it's getting, you're halted, right? You're stopped. It's the same thing. It'll tell us real time what the status of our channels are.
That's right.
Well, and another issue has come up on the home front is the harmful algal blooms. Can we talk about that a little bit?
Wow, that is, Dr. Pittman, you should go into the details of this, but that is a problem everywhere. And it's not, people automatically go to Lake Okeechobee in Florida, but it's Lake Champlain in New York. It's out on the west side of Lake Erie. A number of places throughout the country where we're having this challenge.
It's exploding.
Right.
So as the climate is changing, it's getting hotter and conditions, a lot of nutrients, from agricultural use and that is So harmful algal blooms, the harmful algal blooms are exploding, as the chief said, really on the eastern United States, but also in the western United States. So what we're coming up with, there's new technologies to detect it. You got to catch it when it's early, and then when it's in there, we got to get it out of the water. It's called harmful algal blooms for a reason. So we developed this machine, again, with the industry, to actually collect the algae out of the water and turn it into fuel, biofuel simultaneously. So
That's mind-blowing. That's mind-blowing.
We're cleaning the water up and making fuel at the same time. Who does that? That's what we do, sir.
Does that.
That's what we do.
No,
That's what we do.
And so we have just beautiful bodies of water across the country today where people can't go into water.
Right.
Or they can't drink the water because of this problem. Again, a very pressing need, and just ERDC's on the forefront for the nation.
Yes.
That is wonderful. Do y'all have anything else that you'd like to add to the discussion today?
What other technologies, Dr. Pittman, that...
we got thousands of them.
I know.
Many examples.
Yeah.
But I would say, sir, and you just said it this morning, the time for innovation in the Army and in the nation has never been greater. So the time for technology in our warfighter today, and what we're doing on the home front, we're kind of unique in the Corps. We get to fight wars, and we get to help our homeland too with our Civil Wars program. And that's exactly what we do. So nobody does that like the Corps of Engineers and the ERDC brings those capabilities together no matter what the threat is and helps deliver that for the nation. So we look forward to using technology and innovation for decades to come.
I think I would just add in that, Dr. Pittman had his 35-year anniversary for ERDC, 2 weeks ago. 25, I'm sorry, 25.
Made us over than what
25,
we were.
I know. And I shared with the team, they're just getting started. They really are. And so, again, it's just something the Secretary of the Army just said, the importance of robotics in our future innovation.
Absolutely.
Right? We want to make contact with an opposing force, with an enemy, not with a human, but with a robot.
Yes.
And so the number of modernization issues we have in the engineer regiment, we want to robotize them, right? We want to put robots on them now, and that's just the next leap that we want to take.
So for NGCV, that's next generation combat vehicles, that's the second CFT or modernization priority. We're actually developing robotics for engineer operations. So the infantry's going out there, they're coming up with robots that support the infantry, the armor, they're doing robotic tanks. Engineers, we don't need sappers out there digging in front of the robotic tanks.
Right.
We need robots out there to help us do that. So we're doing that. We're leading that with another partner, Caterpillar, and it's out of Searle, Champaign, Illinois, developing, seriously, robots to actually go out there and dig emplacements, build bridges, build structures, and the kind of things that sappers used to do on the battlefield.
Right.
Again, just another example where I think ERDC is on the forefront of our Army's needs and our nation's needs.
Partnerships are powerful.
Yes.
They really are. Okay. Well, gentlemen, thank you so much for being here. General Spellmon, thank you so much. Dr. Pittman,
thank you, Annette.
Thank you so much. I'm Annette Kirklin. Thank you for watching. Now, if you want to dive in more to the technology that we've talked about today, you can visit the Office of the Chief of Engineers booth at 6927, or you can visit the ERDC booth at, where is it, 2549. And they'll be happy to talk to you about the innovation and the technology that we talked about today. So again, I'm Annette Kirklin with the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers, Engineer Research and Development Center. Have a wonderful day.
Thanks, Annette.
Thank you.
Thanks, Annette.
Thank you.